All right, I returned. Let's see if we can get some stuff going here. First of all, before I forget, let's get some details updated here correctly. GoldenEye Rogue Agent. Details up in there. Let's get some cover art up in here. And let me update the stream information. I remember the format for this exactly, but it'll be good enough. Then I and yes, bond. Correct. Save that. We'll update it successfully, like it says it did. And to be safe, epic 6 mission solo campaign. How do I feel about that? I mean, it's encouraging that it's not a lot of missions. I don't remember how many missions the console game had. I don't think it was much more than that. But I hope it's short. I mean, conceptually, there's nothing in the theme of the missions that would prevent one from designing interesting things to happen within them, but there's certainly not much they could take from the console game and make something exciting out of for this one. But I'm not sure, you know, it was developed by a different studio, I think. I think I updated that correctly. Yeah, the console game was made by EA Los Angeles, and this was made by EA Tiburon, who I don't think we've seen before, unless there's some kind of rebranding going on. Tiburon are around. They make a lot of sports games. They do like Madden and stuff, I'm pretty sure. Which I don't know if that means anything for their, you know, credentials for a game like this, but we don't have any other previous Bond games to compare or anything. Even then, like, it's our first DS game, so everything's gonna be all different. I don't know how epic it's gonna be, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I want to say Tiburon also has done like golf and other stuff. Like, I don't think they exclusively do Madden and football stuff, but I could be wrong. I mean, this was 20 years ago, so things were probably not identical anyway. As far as information on the game, things are pretty scarce here. All we have to go in our little blurb here is, well, it's like the console game, but it's for the DS. Of course, the premise of the original game is that, again, you're playing as this disgraced MI6 agent who starts working for the villains, but then the villains have some kind of internal strife, and Dr. No is gonna steal some kind of disintegrator death ray and explode the Earth. So he has to be stopped, or some bullshit like that. And for some reason, Scaramanga is no longer a charismatic assassin. He is Evil Q, who extremely dryly and boringly, but also boredly, narrates the tutorial for how to use your various eyeball gadget functions. The whole idea of like having these big name villains present, the console game really doesn't do much with it. I doubt this one is going to do much better. What I use for Christopher Lee, yeah. But he's like the one, I mean, Of course, they wouldn't get what's his name, get Phoebe to voice Goldfinger, because he didn't actually voice Goldfinger in the film. He was dubbed. But I like Goldfinger's voice in the game is actually really good. They got someone else to do a convincing fake German accent. But I mean, I always thought like he's like, it's not really obvious that he's dubbed in the movie either. His voice just, I don't know, the voice performance is great. Like, it's part of the character. But yeah, they have likenesses of some other characters, but Christopher Lee is the only actor who's like returned. I want to say some of the other characters are mostly like kind of mute, but maybe I'm just thinking of Oddjob, who I suppose, you know, they wouldn't get. I don't know if he's alive, but you know, or available, but I'm sure they wouldn't get Harold Sakata to grunt into a mic. Seems like a bit of a waste, so that's fair enough, you know. Anyway. First DS game, that's exciting. Breaking new ground, James Bond. So for this game, it is a dual screen game. The top screen is where most of the action is happening, or all the action really. Bottom screen is for aiming and extra buttons, basically. So by default, the game is designed for you to use your thumb on the screen to like move the camera around. So you use the D-pad, the triggers, and the screen, basically. But there are alternate control schemes. There's a stylus control scheme, which I suppose means that you're not expected to hold it like this and have access to the right trigger. So you're holding with a pen. You have one less button or whatever. But there's also, and there's like a left-handed mode, I think, too, that swaps the function of the D-pad and the face buttons. But there is also a like buttons control scheme where you use the face buttons to aim. And I was experimenting a little bit with the setup here, and I found that that works the best, probably, because I can use the mouse on the emulator to simulate the stylus, but or the, you know, the thumb aiming. But in real life, on a DS, you can obviously tell when you're reaching the edge of the screen. On a PC, I'm gonna click and drag with my mouse and just like pull it somewhere where it no longer registers the input. I just tried it because there's this little virtual training thing, as it brags about here. So I could play it for a few minutes without starting the real game just to get a sense of the controls. And I pretty much decided that the stylus or touchscreen aiming just wasn't gonna work all that well. Bad Rito, welcome, welcome. Raiders as well, of course, welcome everybody. We're just about to embark on a long-awaited, dare I say, mission 33 of James Bond, in which we are playing every James Bond video game in chronological order. Today is the 2nd anniversary. We've been doing this for 2 years, off and on. We are just about to get started.
Unspeakable horror awaits you.
So great! Subscribing at Tier 1. Thank you very much indeed. That gives me the perfect excuse to remind everybody about the Q Branch Research Funding Initiative. In addition to the 50 games in the main James Bond lineup, there are a number of secret additional bonus missions. They will be unlocked as we reach Q Branch Research Funding goal of 10 daily objectives, and daily objectives are completed by contributing to the channel by means of subscribing, using bits, donations, etc. 1 bit equals 1 credit, 1 sub equals 250, etc. There's some kind of math to it, but basically all of the hard-earned cash that you are so ever generously donating to me in one way or another will get funneled directly to Q Branch so that they can develop the technology necessary to take on additional secret missions. The next one, secret insider info for you all, will be Seen It, the DVD game 007 edition. If we complete 10 daily objectives, we will add this to the list and to the schedule at some point in the future. But today, we are getting started on GoldenEye Rogue Agent for the Nintendo DS. So yeah, I did some experimenting with the controls, and even with the button control layout, you still have to use the touchscreen for certain things. So I hope that I can make that work, but we'll see. I've also, from my testing, decided, for now at least, that the way we're going to do this is the game mainly happens on the top screen, so we don't need full equal representation of both screens. But I do want to have the bottom screen on the stream, because probably not going to make much sense otherwise.
Q, go do some work.
Comic Runner. Generous 500 barbarian bits bestowed upon the stream and upon Q Branch. Desmond Llewellyn polishing his battle axe already. Thank you very much indeed. Let me just make sure to properly update this so that it says 1 objective completed. There we go. 1,000 Q credits achieved. Thank you very much to all who have contributed. Appreciate it. So in order for this to work, we are going to hide the chat and instead dedicate this screen real estate to the second DS screen. And let's hope that this correctly. I need a timer. I just do that. Let's this button. Go. There's timer. Go. Hopefully this should not make it too much harder for me to actually read chat. We'll see how things go. Oh, there we go. I was going to say, I hope we have audio. Sure do. It's like picking up on my mic too. Let me turn it down a little bit. Sure is audio. Yeah, when I did the virtual training thing, which is basically like some kind of multiplayer bot match sort of thing, it appears that the music in this game is kind of unhinged. Like fucking elevator circus music. So I'm not sure if that's a promising sign or not, but I'll touch here to start. I guess let me do this. Yeah, like, what the fuck is this? I'm just like, I'm at a loss for words. Let me enable cursor capture so you can see. Oh, there we go. I figured maybe this will make it a little easier to understand what's happening, because I'm gonna be clicking on some stuff here and there. I have some words, not very 007 music. I mean, that's... it's not the most not 007 music we've heard in a game, I think. But it does stand out a little bit in this post-2000s era. Wait, what's this slider? Volume, sound 50, music. Is this like a... Yeah, okay, it's like a balancing. Okay. Weird. Yeah, so controls, you can see here, I've had it set to right buttons. Auto aim and auto level. It's nice to have these options. We'll see how this is actually gonna pan out in terms of, you know, enemy threat levels and what have you. Yeah, the balance between sound effects and music is kind of confusing, kind of interesting, but it's also, there's no actual like thing on here to show you where it's at. You just like, also the music doesn't seem like it's getting any softer until I like, from 50 up to 100 it's identical, so it's not actually, I mean, technically, maybe it, like, in relative terms, it adds up and makes sense, but it's weird that it's, you would expect the music to get louder when you go up from 50 to 100. But I guess they both max out at 50. Well, folks, let's do it. Try to get my timer ready here. Select the file and touch the create icon to start a new campaign. It's a fucking DS. So 2005 means that this is a pretty early DS game. The DS launched in 04, right? So it makes sense that they're kind of, they're not just like curious, they're probably to a degree at least mandated by Nintendo to use touch for fucking everything. That's probably why we can't even escape it. But let's just hope that it doesn't. So I could not find a manual to this game. There seems as though there is one available on the Internet Archive, but the Internet Archive is currently down for maintenance after some DDoS shit, so I couldn't find one. But I found a guide on Game FAQs that kind of went over the control schemes and explained a few things that weren't obvious from the game itself. But as I recall, you're gonna need the touchscreen to like reload and to pick up weapons and a few things like that. So I'm basically playing with a controller, keeping like my hand ready to click stuff on the screen here with my mouse, and that's very clunky, but it's about the best I can do. So hopefully it'll work out, but if it turns out that it's too clunky, maybe I'll try to devise an alternate method, some form or fashion. I don't know. Fucking music, man. Okay, we highlight file A and create. Oh, easy, normal, hard, you only live once. Well, we're not gonna go YOLO because we're not even allowed. We don't have the proper clearance. The pandas in, look like vapes. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Some of the visuals here, but this looks at least presentable. I mean, I reckon we'll go normal, but it's nice to know that there's an easy in case things get impossible. Unfortunately, I reckon that's really gonna only show when we're further into the game, where changing the difficulty would probably mean starting over on a new file, and that's not gonna happen. Unless, of course, it turns out that it's impossible right from the get-go, in which case we can abort mission 1 and start over on easy. Glad to have the option anyway. Started. 3 years ago, while on assignment, the agent, severely wounded in an encounter with Dr. No, subsequently lost the use of his right eye. Consumed with vengeance, frequently resorts to violence and brutality, no longer fit for service with MI6. File closed. That's right, the original game has like 3 prologues that don't match up either. That's a little confusing. 3 days. Yeah, 3 years ago something happened, and now we're 3 days ago. Art Goldfinger has seized the U.S. gold depository at Fort Knox. He intends to irradiate the Boolean reserve with a nuclear device which will devastate the global economy. Yeah, so this is the opening level. That is a flashback. But not too far of a flashback. Because we'd already... Wait. 3 years ago, we were, like, kicked out of MI6. But 3 days ago, this happened. But okay, whatever. We're just doing this anyway, I guess. Work with commandos to neutralize Goldfinger's men. Locate the nuclear device. Defuse the bomb. Oh yeah, we were starting the helicopter and we get shot down. Your helicopter has crash landed and you are the sole survivor. As a result, you must complete this mission on your own. Yeah, James Bond died in the crash, by the way. At least in the other... Yeah, 3 years ago, your character lost his eye, and for all that time, MI6 put up with his violent impulses. Only now, after this flashback, do they choose to relieve him. Something like that, but it already says he was like... Yeah, I guess that's what they're... He's been an unhinged, loose cannon, violent nuisance for 3 years. Which I guess some might argue is how you might describe James Bond, so maybe that does check out. Alright. I mean, the frame rate's pretty fucking good compared to the GBA. There's a little arrow that tells us where to go. And you need to shoot guys like 50 times. Oh yeah. Like click this thing to pick up the gun. I don't have a lot of ammo. Oh, this is gonna be bad. I have to like learn how. Oh my god. Double tap down to crouch. And shoot him in the balls. Apparently, okay. Yep, that works. Good. What did this say? Look at the wall. Press the L button to throw grenades or fire your left-hand weapon. Your grenades will be holstered until you switch back to them by double touching the left wick. Alright, okay. I'm at full health, so I think... it's operating on kind of a Halo system where... health regenerates, but armor does not. Maybe those were headshots. Armor 250. 90. Yeah, so you have to tap the left or right weapon panel to equip a weapon in the respective slot. Yeah, accuracy is not going to be a big thing. Move or crouch behind obstacles to avoid... Empty fucking flips. Right into his crotch. The enemies, for being in the introduction tutorial, are like... seem distressingly tanky. Wait, I just wanted to reload, but I was standing on top of a gun, so I accidentally picked up the gun instead. So obviously you automatically reload if you just like run out of ammo, but you can manually reload by clicking the weapon panel, except if you're standing on a weapon it doesn't work. Melee attack. Stun enemies. Once an enemy is stunned, press the L or R buttons again to knock it. Good. Nice. Oh, I can do... Wow, okay, that's kind of impressive. And also, it's not... It's like instant, so it's actually doable. Like in the console game, it takes like 3 seconds to grab them. But here it actually like kind of makes sense. Stunned enemies can be The mechanics are surprisingly similar so far, but it's sort of the controls I think are a bit better maybe. Okay, I thought they were supposed to die in like 2 hits, not 6. Yeah, so I'm playing. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh my god. I'm playing on a layout that's like sort of similar to what you're seeing on screen, with a larger top screen on the left. But I'm realizing that it's actually really difficult for me to see the information that's on the bottom screen. So I probably need to reconfigure this for next time. It's probably going to look the same on stream, because you don't really need that information on the bottom screen, I don't think. But like ammo counts and whatnot, like it's a little too off to the side for me. Fucking music though. It's dangerous to be holding a grenade like that. I don't know, it seems normal to me. All right, two-handed weapons. Oh, okay, so this was, I reckon. Yeah. Nothing interactable or anything. Just. Oh, okay. I'm just automatically sliding down the ladder. I'm curious. Curious if the sensitivity. Oh, 50% is probably max, huh? No? Okay. Let me crank it up to 100 to just see. I like that there's done and back. I'm assuming back means cancel. I'm curious if current speed is... Ah! I touched the auto ladder. I want to see if I could turn faster even with the button controls, but... Oh, checkpoints. Probably not gonna, I think, like, fine. Kind of cute. It's pretty funny too how like the tutorial signs show up like when there's enemies and shit around you. Just like in the real game where people are gonna yell instructions at you. Standing in. No, they're not. Oh yeah, they are. You can like painstakingly do this. Get a trap kill. Seems probably not worth the trouble, and it's like one of very few places you can... Oh, there was a sign. I used this weapon for most of the console game because the dual wielding just didn't seem very practical. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised at how similar it is so far. Like, this room is in the like the console game, like basically the exact same. I cannot get over how fucking tanky enemies are though. Like the sound, the karate chop, the I think both probably were effective, but it's like there's a ton of acceleration, so it's like hard to okay. Oh, change. unfortunately, when I grab someone, it does drop. That's kind of weird. Why did I drop? Like, I had a one-handed submachine gun that I dropped when I grabbed him. No. I had the rifle. Never mind. I'm an idiot. But yeah, so the fact that I have to like stop for 2 seconds if I want to grab a weapon may be a little bit of a liability. But it kind of feels... Maybe? Like stages are a little shorter. Can also enable auto aim. That turns out to be a issue. Rogue bonuses, yeah, that's like the idea that's supposed to be the equivalent to Bond moves for like exploding dudes or throwing them into a trap or whatever. Oh. Yeah. Like, I want to say that it seems as though... Oh my god, I'm standing too close to that guy, so I'm meleeing. I think that's my health noise. Covering pretty slowly. It might be wishful thinking, but it feels like we're progressing through the stage somewhat quickly. Got that for headshot. Oh yeah, that's a thing that was explained in like the manual or whatever. How to defuse it. No, there's not a mission failed. Press select. I think this is supposed to happen. Difficulty is it on? We're playing on normal. End of training simulation. You have failed in your mission and your brutal tactics are inexcusable. There's no place at MI6 for an agent like you. You're dismissed. Okay, so it's a little bit more obvious in the console game what's actually happening here. But yeah, this entire thing was just fake. This was just a VR mission. So this 3 days ago is when we get fired from MI6. But it's also confusing because I don't know what brutal tactics they're talking about. I shot guys who were trying to kill me. But luckily we had this note in our pocket. The offer still stands, Goldfinger. So we beat the stage, to be clear, in case you were confused. And let me tell you, that stage took a lot more than 14 minutes to beat, especially considering we were fucking around in menus and everything. I'm feeling great about how relatively quickly we might be able to get through this. Yeah, so the story is like what we just played was the flashback in which, after 3 years of being violent or whatever, our guy does a training exercise with Bond. For some reason or another, it's determined that during this training mission, we're just so brutal and violent that the MI6 just cannot stand having us in their ranks. So we're just fired, and conveniently, Goldfinger had just recruited us at the same time anyway. So we're like, oh, fine, we'll just go work for him then. What's the difference? So we've unlocked Bore Tunnel, the next level. Weapons, MRI vision, virtual training rules, MRI. Okay, so I don't know if we're gonna get Christopher Lee text explaining our power, which I think the MRI vision thing is. But yeah, we got 0 accuracy bonus, unsurprisingly, 72 points. Of course, I can't use the D-pad. I have to click this. But yeah, I think the console game had some kind of star rating thing that getting multiple stars would unlock concept arts and stuff. Oh, here's the opening, the gun barrel.
It could easily have been more than your eye.
This is kind of surprisingly cool. I honestly don't remember the console game having shit like this. I mean, the music's a bit stupid, but... No, it does have the opening, because I remember it having... It doesn't look like this. Because I remember it being kind of stupid, it looking like movie credits, but instead of credits, it just shows you the name of the characters.
It could easily have been more than your eye.
Okay, I'm not sure why it repeated that line, but... Sounds corrupted. I have no frame of reference, so it's possible that it's not meant to sound like this. But I don't know. You and Goldfinger have joined forces against a common enemy. Dr. No, the man responsible for the loss of your eye, has broken ranks with Goldfinger and has declared war on the organization. Must be eliminated. So for some reason, we're just like super... I mean, I guess the idea is that we're supposed to have a personal vendetta against Dr. No for, you know, injuring our eye. But also, like, imagine getting fucking hired by a criminal organization and, like, fucking first day on the job, there's some massive mutiny. Like, how invested are you really in, like, taking sides in this conflict? And, like, how confident are you that I you know, you're in Goldfinger's pocket or whatever. I guess you don't have much say in the matter, but it's very clumsily presented. If it's like, if the game expects me to be invested in any degree to this nonsense, you have to take sides. Ought to be the one that didn't cost you your eye. I mean, sure, I'm not saying we should have sided with Dr. No. I just mean, like, couldn't we just piece the fuck out? Like, are we... I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't understand what our motivations are supposed to be for working with Goldfinger anyway. Goldfinger just, like, going out looking for, like, is he just getting insider information on top agents for various intelligence agencies around the world that are just a little bit too violent and unhinged to be reliable? And it's like, sure, I'll grab one of those guys. Also, I doubt that this is going to be any different, but in the console version, you kind of get the impression that Goldfinger's criminal mega empire has about 4 people employed. And you are one of them. So, yeah, I don't know. Get a day job? Sounds like a decent idea. Are we getting money? I don't know. Like, I'm just saying, it's not that it couldn't be explained. The game just doesn't really bother putting too much effort into explaining it. Yeah, we get these Amiga-ass screens, which are actually kind of sick, honestly. Now that you work for Goldfinger, arrangements have been made for an upgrade to your remarkable eye. What, so we already had a cyber eyeball? We're just getting it upgraded. Scaramanga is just releasing a patch for our eyeball? Okay, sure. The upgrade is called MRI imaging. When activated, magnetic resonance will enable you to see enemies lurking behind cover, but its range is limited and it consumes energy, so plan accordingly. Use the mag rail weapon with your MRI upgrade to eliminate enemies before they can even see you. Eye patch, indeed. Unintended, frankly, but I'll take it. Yeah, I think that was the Christopher Lee briefing. I mean, you're right, Vina. Shouldn't we be grateful to Dr. No for giving us the better eye? I mean, if they hadn't shot out our shitty old organic eyeball, we wouldn't get our mega power gold eyeball. This is the Omen, the organic mass energy neutralizer. Virtually disassembles the atoms of living matter. Goldfinger wants you to protect his weapon. Renault's army is attacking Auric Enterprises in an effort to steal the ultimate secret weapon. Yeah, okay, so... I mean, clearly there's about 1 million goons in this organization, I guess. Well, there was, but there are not many of them fighting on Goldfinger's side. So basically, it sounds like Dr. No, quote unquote, broke rank, but took 99% of staff with him. So it's kind of like Goldfinger is the one being, like, you know, pushed to the side here. But since we're directly under his employ, we just have to roll with that. ARC Enterprises. Objectives. Fight your way through the labs. Destroy first filtration tube. Destroy second filtration tube. Escape before the air becomes toxic. Not sure if that's like going to be a timer type deal or what, but those scan lines are like kind of obnoxious. Whoa. We're just minding our own business here. Tackle, probably better than that gun. Can I have a new eyeball button on the... There's more shit I need to be able to click on there if I'm going to bother using it. But honestly, in the original game, you'd kind of never really need to bother with that shit anyway. Some upgrades eventually are going to be indispensable, but this one in particular... The grenade took like 2 years. It didn't even fucking kill this guy. Luckily, appear to be about as tanky as these guys, which is good. Like, I'm struggling to do an okay job of dodging anything. But is it with Bond villains and essentially making laser weapons? I mean, I guess they want to rule the world. That's how you do that, I guess. Am I hitting anything? Like, a little bit stupid. All right, so I think there was a mag rail here. I'm like noticing, I'm recognizing aspects of the level design, which is like kind of interesting. Oh my god, it's... Why do they have to do that? Like... So this gun is like powerful. Actually, it might work pretty well in this version. Yeah, it's powerful, but it has like 2 full seconds of startup. Like you click the button and then let me show you. So that's how long it takes from pulling the trigger to the shooting. In the console game, enemies constantly run back and forth to dodge your shots, making it kind of impossible to hit anything with this gun. They don't seem to be doing that in this version. So the infinitely long startup is like a lot less of a liability. Complication or whatever you want. See, like, I'm so... Oh, it feels so relaxing. I'm so happy that it's like shit kind of works. So they kind of run in position and then they just stand there and dutifully get lasered. That was my fault. I was strafing there. Oh, let's push the skull button. Hopefully nothing bad happens. So I missed out on rogue bonuses for that, but oh well. Like everything seems to kind of move at a pumpier pace. I'm that horribly, but it's a little confusing because the beam sort of stays on screen for a second, but it's only really active in an instant. Wait, okay. Oh, the arrow. I feel like the even the nature of the gray hallways like less egregious. Oh, the Mamba's the shotgun. Okay. So... Oh, I ran out of Yeah, the mag rail, not great. I don't have anything. The other hand. All right. Oh yeah, I forgot to. I just realized I started explaining something that I didn't explain properly, which is that you notice maybe that some enemies have dropped armor, and that is something that was explained in the manual. Oh, speaking of, supposedly there's this sort of system where enemies drop armor when they die, depending on like how effectively you kill them. Meaning, like if you head shoot them, the armor, like you're not going to have depleted as much of their armor for killing them. But if you he still landed on his feet. Long story short, if you headshot dudes, they are potentially able to drop armor. It didn't seem terribly consistent in that game, and it doesn't necessarily seem terribly consistent here either. Get a mag rail there. Kind of want to have some other weapon to allow you to fire in between attempted mag rail shots. The whole standing still to mag rail doesn't work as well if you have to stand in front of them with no cover. I keep instinctively want to explore these nooks and crannies, but there's like never anything there. Because there's no concept of like items or collectibles. Like sometimes hypothetically there may be armor, which obviously is a good thing to grab, but like not that likely to be there anyway. Oh, fuck off. I think he's shooting me, but I can see through the floor, but I'm being shot. But I think that was a guy shooting. I think that's explosive, by the way. Probably would have killed someone. All also kind of familiar. Riveting combat. Honestly, so far this seems very similar to the console game, but everything is like the frame rate's better, it's moving faster, it's just smoother and snappier all around. Level seems like maybe they're shorter. Oh, sick, I got the the thing for killing an enemy while in transit. Am I telling you that this game is better? I mean, the jury's still out, but it's less annoying. Oh, hey, look, it's the laser thing from the movie, I guess. Except yeah, never mind. I was gonna say that wasn't in Fort Knox, but we're not in Fort Knox anymore. It's hard to remember because everything fucking gray hallways the entire game. Less moving eyes is huge. Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's very funny. There's like this whole marketing thing about the they had some name for it, the revolutionary AI system that basically amounts to enemies just running full speed backwards and forwards over and over. It isn't exactly, you know, a display of incredible intelligence, But it does make the enemies annoying as shit to fight. So, I mean, it kind of works in that sense. This game doesn't have it, and subsequently, enemies are a lot less annoying to fight. Just blow themselves up? Someone shot something that exploded. And I'm pretty much out of mag rail anyway. Out of ammo for this. That was kind of stupid, honestly, but like, what the fuck is this game? Tossing. Yeah, I just realized that I couldn't use this, so I didn't want to like carry him around. The objectives are like kind of marked here. Do I just shoot this thing? Oh, I guess so. Oh, auto ladder. Scope seems to be potentially of somewhat limited use. Yeah, just the, like, I mean, granted this is early in the game, things can change, but your survivability seems like pretty good. Tesla EM? I don't even remember. Some kind of like pistol, I think. Like, kind of, oh, whoa, awkward to use. Okay, well, there's that armor. Much for the survivability. Oh, I was like, did I just die? What just happened there? But music is a little bit, I don't even know what it is. Did something, all right. That's the rocket launcher. Okay, nice. Wait, so 250 is half armor. Okay. Oh my god, I'm walking slower with the rocket launcher. Well, even the idea of like swapping weapons regularly feels sort of better, but I'm also kind of like, there were some elements to sort of how to play the game that kind of, oh, I'm have to escape apparently, that I would get more used to like as I got further into it. And of course, I'm bringing that experience with me to this game. So some things like feeling sort of smoother here could just be a result of that. Catch up with chat. Thing. I can't, I'm stuck. Oh shit. I didn't realize there was a Simon Says minigame happening. I mean, that's novel, I guess. Literally shooting him in the armor, probably not ideal, but a little stressed out about the time here, but oh my god, I got mag railed. I just died. Okay. Like an NES 30-second loop with slightly higher quality. That's debatable. But yeah, the music is whatever. Don't remember weapons slowing down. Yeah. Good melee attack. Started panicking a little bit, but I also exploded that thing like right as I entered the room. It was not ideal. I can blow that thing out from the kind of other end of this room, giving me a little more time at least. I'm a little more clear idea of what to expect. Oh, that was just him. Okay. Oh, yeah, the timer's not on screen because I didn't explode this thing yet. That is what triggers the timer. A little bit of Simon Says. Like a little oh fuck it. A little bit. Didn't die? No, I did. The pipe just didn't count as shooting through something. Oh my god! I was specifically trying to see if I could see where he was. Should have figured. Full health at least. A little bit of a gotcha there, but like that didn't count as a bonus despite shooting through the floor. It's a little mysterious. Oh, I did hit him. Nice. I just kind of guessed where he was. The whole concept of using this to shoot through walls, like, actually kind of works in this version. Kind of novel. It doesn't really work very well in the other. I mean, just due to like how the enemies behave and move and everything. Like mechanically, you can do it. Oh my god, he fucking blew me up. I should have lasered him. All right, we can do one more time. The checkpoints are pretty infrequent. And the loading is fucking insane. Oh, okay. Even faster this time for some reason. I do remember melee attacks being like weirdly impotent in the other version too. I just missed him, I guess. Oh yeah, the venom. That's the one that like slows him down. Oh, headshot bonus? Yeah, it's like extremely inconsistent. Yeah, the AR, I think. Yeah. Hmm. What was here? Oh, the giant. Okay. No, that's the one I. Oh, fuck it. Although, can't be bothered. So, same rogue bonus bugs as console. Yeah, it's like remarkably similar in a lot of ways. Nice, that actually worked. Right. This is like kind of cute, but it's also a little annoying. Remember where guys are? But they haven't like spawned yet or something. Yeah, like they weren't visible when I clicked the button. Because enemies like spawn pretty like when you're pretty close. Revolutionary AI. I think maybe that was the rocket guy. That further up here. Oh! Okay, they don't usually spawn on screen like that in the console game. I won't say it never happens, but not typically. Fuck. Slightly concerned about time, but we should be close to the end, hopefully. Found the escape route. Get out. I guess timer stopped. Oh, there's Pussy Galore. Chillin'. Okay, well done. Company Pussy Galore back to Goldfinger's lair to receive your next assignment. 44 minutes. Technically 2 stages completed. Technically, I suppose this is like the real first mission. I don't know if that first virtual fake Fort Knox level counts as part of the epic 6-level campaign or not, but we're making good progress. All right. Yes, I would like to save my progress. That's a crazy thing, right? Like, if you're playing this on actual DS, I still think that's a, you know, that was still half an hour to get through that. That's like a pretty lengthy time to be expected to play a DS without like saving and turning it off, I feel like. But yeah, I think we're gonna call it there for today, though. we got our first little introduction to Rogue Agent on the DS, and it's funny how it's like impressive how close it is to the console game in some ways, but it's like it's unfortunate because that game's not very good. But on the other hand, the levels feel significantly shorter. I feel like about the time we spent on both those two levels, that's like the time spent on just the opening. Like the levels felt very repetitive of going through samey rooms over and over. You can see that a little bit in this version too, but I remember it being much worse in the console game. So hopefully that holds true, and we are looking at like a, you know, 2 or 3 stream game. Want to know what this virtual training is and why it's so revolutionary to this version? I can show you super duper quickly. So it's basically multiplayer, I guess, like deathmatch. But if you go into single player, you do a skirmish. So you pick one enemy, I guess. Oh, that's Scaramanga. There's no left. I can only cycle to the right. I wonder if that last one's supposed to be Bond? Maybe. Like you pick your weapons that you can unlock. I'm trying to remember. Surely there must have been multiplayer in the console game. Some of those levels are definitely stuff that's not in the... But yeah, so... I tried this, like, just to figure out the controls. But it's like, you never seem to find anyone. But yeah, it's deathmatch. Yeah. Same lame music, yeah. This is where I heard a bit of music as I was testing this before streaming. And, yeah. If I recall correctly, the console game actually has some like decent tunes too, but it's similarly completely nondescript and well, it's not this weird maybe, but similarly nondescript and non-Bond like, but at least a little bit more riveting or listenable at least. But yeah, not very memorable. I would maybe keep going, but I actually got a bit of an annoying headache creeping on, and I have at least been streaming for 4.5 hours, so I think we can be happy with our work for today. We got through the tier list. We spent a good hour or two just summarizing everything up to this point. We added other missing games. We even reached our daily objective in the Q-branch funding. Thank you very much for that. And we got through, I guess, 2 levels. Actually, maybe we can figure this out. If I go to campaign, load game, 42% of what exactly? Have we finished 42% of the campaign? Have we done... How does that... okay. I don't know how that works out exactly. I was just curious to see if there's like a mission select menu or something. Or do we just continue? What does the number 42 come from? Oh, we're just like loading from this cutscene. Okay. I would think that if those were the first 2 of 6 levels, that we would have 33% at the most if we had, like, I don't know, achieved everything. Except there isn't really more or less to achieve in any of these levels as far as I know. But 42% of something. I don't know. Tell you what, guys, we are going to hop on our air bikes as we figure out where... Oh, I can get this sorted. Let's figure out who we can raid. That's right, East Coast Throwdown is happening. There's a CPT event going on. I can never keep up with that nowadays. It just seems to come out of nowhere. I'm probably going to watch some of that later on. But we can find far more interesting raid targets than that. Of course. Ondeuse 100 is going on. We need to raid Lord Sejouf and see what happens in the horror stage. Luckily, I've already passed this round. So did Goaty. Figure out the final results. Looks like they're actually playing another DS game, so that's interesting. Anyway, let's go see how things go over at Sejouf's. Thank you again, everyone, for hanging out. I had a good time today. So I will be back hopefully Monday with more of this or some other nonsense. Not exactly sure. In any case, I'll see you guys around. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.